Hi, in this video I will invite you to discuss a dilemmatic issue about morality. We will play around with some philosophical questions from the trolley problem. This will make you think, redefine morality from different perspectives, look for which moral values are better, or perhaps what you think is better, and dismiss what may be just nonsense. Let's get started. Imagine that one day you find yourself in a precarious situation. You are in the wheelhouse of a fast-moving train, and ahead of you, you see that 5 people are tied to the tracks and unable to move. You know that if the train hits them, all 5 will surely die. However, there is good news. In front of you, there is a crossing that will make the train turn by simply pulling a lever in the wheelhouse. The problem is that upon inspecting the track, you realize that there is another person tied to the rails who is also at risk of being hit by the train. You don't know how to stop the train. The only thing you can do is to pull the lever and make the train turn. If you leave the train in its position, the train will continue to move and kill 5 people. If you decide to turn, the train will hit 1 person. We assume that there are no other possibilities. Staying straight means 5 people will die, while turning means 1 person will die. Now the decision is yours. Will you stay silent and let the train continue straight, or pull the lever to make the train turn? What will you do? Your answer may be the same as most people. According to a survey conducted, 90% of people responded that they would make the train switch tracks so that only 1 person would die instead of 5. When the train stays on its original course, the moral principle is simple. It is better to save 5 people than just 1 person. Do you have the same thought? Do you think sacrificing 1 person to save 5 others is a better moral choice? Now let's change the scenario. A fast-moving train is heading towards 5 people who are tied to the tracks. This time there is only 1 track, without any branching. In this scenario, you are not inside the train, but on a bridge over the railroad tracks in front of you. Unknown in origin and unknown in identity, there is a very large person in front of you. When you see the train approaching, you know that if you push the large person, their body can stop the train, thus saving the 5 people on the tracks. The large person will surely die, but if you do nothing, 5 people will be killed. Once again, we assume there are no other possibilities. Doing nothing means 5 people will die. Pushing the person in front of you means only 1 will die. Now, the decision is yours. What will you do? Your answer may also be the same as that of others in general. This time, in the second scenario, 90% of people would choose not to push. As a result, 5 people would die after being hit by the train. Try to remember. Just a few minutes ago, you provided a reasoning. It's better to sacrifice 1 than 5 people. Now, the majority of people, including you, apparently did not do it. There are many reasons. The most common one is that in the second scenario, there is an active act of pushing someone. But they forget, including you may also forget, that pulling the lever to divert the train is also an active act. This is where morality becomes a dilemma. Introducing Philippa Food. Back in 1977, Food proposed an experiment that later became known as the trolley problem. The experiment was adapted to understand moral contexts in various conditions, such as war, torture, abortion, and euthanasia. This study became increasingly important with the development of artificial intelligence and machine learning, where machines are given control to make more moral decisions in various situations. The trolley problem prompts us to think further about the consequences of a choice, whether it is based on certain moral values or more towards the outcome, and how we express it in our daily lives. Is sacrificing the lesser for the greater good truly more moral, or just a mere justification? We may often hear this moral lesson throughout our lives as a doctrine that there always needs to be sacrifices made for the greater good. It is no wonder that morality is often used as a tool by those in power and certain individuals to justify war, ethnic cleansing, minority discrimination, environmental destruction, industrialization, and so on. All in the name of world peace, the common good, the larger group, a brighter future, or because 90% of people think that sacrificing the lesser for the greater good is acceptable. It all becomes seemingly right and more moral. Now let us erase what we often believe about morality. Perhaps what we have understood all this time about morality is frequently exploited by certain parties, or even ourselves, to harm others. Is sacrificing a few for the sake of many a better choice? Just because it's not done by our own hands, does it mean we can agree with it or let it happen? We can use the trolley problem to inquire about moral issues in various things such as, is sacrificing our child's current growth and development for the sake of their future by making them a caregiver's child a better moral choice, or just a mere justification of selfish parents? Can discrimination and stigmatization of minority groups by the majority, or those who consider themselves as the most right, powerful, justified in the name of public interest or the interest of the majority, be justified? Is waging war against a certain group of people, a particular ethnicity, or individuals deemed troublemakers, by sacrificing innocent people in the name of world peace and order, a more moral choice? In the context of sacrificing a few for the greater good, it may be seen as a more moral choice. But imagine if you were on the opposite side. You are the child, not the parent. You are the minority, not the majority. You are the victim, not the winner of the war. Now the question is, do you still think that it is a more moral choice? From here, we can see that morality is often used as a justification tool when we are in a privileged position or have interests at stake. Isn't that true? Because in the end, morality is often seen as a matter of human egoism and self-interest, or that of their own group. I will prove it. Let's go back to the train track dilemma earlier. Let's return to the first scenario, where 5 people are tied to the first track and 1 person is tied to the second track. A train is moving at high speed. You are inside it, and you are the one in control. If you let the train continue on its current path, it will kill the 5 people. However, you have the option to pull a lever and make the train switch tracks, thus only killing 1 person. This time, it turns out that the 1 person on the second track is actually one of your family. The decision is yours. Who will you choose to save? Thank you for listening, Proudcast.